Welcome to Acute Mania Live. That was a peaceful start, wasn't it?
That was pleasant. That was very pleasant.
Shenandoah's back. Shenandoah, it's gosh, it's been too long. Basically, we discussed that before we went live here, and it's been way too long. Welcome back, man. It's nice to see you. You look like you. You know.
Well, thank you. I hope I'm me.
I mean, I don't think you've changed at all. You're as dapper and as cheerful as I remember.
Well, that's a good thing. So are you as well.
Well, I'm getting older for one thing.
You
I turn another year this year. you know, September I turned 43.
Oh man, I tell you.
I'm almost halfway to 50. You know, it's
Well,
I don't look a day over 16. I don't think. I
I
still
was
get
gonna say,
carded
man.
for things. Hey, I had an interesting weekend. Okay, I want to start the show with this because I think I owe it. I owe it. I owe it. Well, for one thing, I'm the shirt I'm featuring tonight is I Rivera because they were advertising the shirt and I was like, "Are you going to have that at the show in Pittsburgh?" And they did. So I bought two. Well, I bought this one and then another one that I liked. They played with amplifiers and Dragonfly Effect and Victoria Fire at Squirrel Hill Sports Bar on Saturday evening. So I went up and saw that, and it was great. It was a fantastic show. First time I've met I Rivera in person. They're from Salem, Ohio, and Dragonfly Effects is from Pittsburgh, and they've been on the show also. But that was the first time I met them in person. So now after this is what I owe now. So after that show, after the concert, I went. I traveled about it was about 15, 20 minutes to Lawrenceville. You know where Lawrenceville is part of Pittsburgh? It's like the north part.
Yeah.
Like, but you go right along the city. So I went up to interview a mentalist for the show for Cute Media Live, right?
Okay.
So because I've had I don't think I told you this before. I've had a magician on another magician on before from out west. That he actually does like magic with birds and with just magic.
Oh,
He's a
yeah,
magician. He's
yeah,
done things. He's good friends with like David Copperfield, like that kind of magic.
Mhm.
So but I found this guy in Pittsburgh, and I was like, this was like back in May. I'd emailed him, and we just kind of settled on what was it the July 23rd. So I was like, well, I'm already gonna be up there, so let's do it, afterwards. After I do that concert, I'll come up and we'll do the show from. I can't tell you where we were because it's a famous person's
Yep.
like hangout.
Yep.
And only a few people have access, and he has access. So we did the show from there, and Invisible Rob came up from here and met me there, and he was on, and the mentalist name is Seth Newstein. The video is up. There's a short video that I posted to YouTube yesterday, I think, and I kind of edited it. How do you say it?
Edited.
Edited. Edited. See, I
Edit,
can't
edit,
say it.
edited.
Yeah, you do it. Okay, yeah. Edited. It just
Edited.
sounds weird. Yeah, so I edited. I can't say it. You know what I mean? I did that and kind of made it so it would flow good, and people are probably wondering, well, because I was supposed to do the show live from there, and so you could see everything that he was doing, and I mean he's a mentalist. There's really nothing to see on a mentalist, but he's also a magician.
Yep.
There was a few things. He pulled shots out of his coat pocket. Just uncovered. They weren't covered in anything. It was like a shot glass with liquor
Sure.
in it out
Just
of his
there
pocket.
you go.
So like I mean, but that's not captured either. I tell you what, I don't know what happened. I had full signal, and I connect my hotspot just like I do on the show here, and I could not get any video feed at all. And so we went ahead, we went with it without video, and it was audio, listening to it, it's jumpy. It's very very the audio is very jumpy, and I don't like kind of like you're losing signal. But like I said, I had full signal, and my hotspot was fine, and because it always is usually, and but it was so basically. Seth has some access to some good. He can do some audio stuff. So I'm gonna send him the audio recording. I pulled it down from YouTube, and he's going to see what he can keep. See what we can still do. So that might be a little bit, but I have to apologize to Seth and to the audience because or not the audience, but the viewers. Because I don't know what happened. I have no idea what happened. I mean, I can't. I had full signal. That's all I can say. And we weren't in downtown, but we were in town, and there's cell towers everywhere up there. Well, so I mean, I have no idea, and but we were going to try to save it. Well, Seth's gonna help me try to save it because I simply don't have the software to do it, and he has access to it. So I'm gonna throw it to him probably this evening when we get done. It's quite a download, so it's an hour and 17 minutes of audio. So hopefully we can get that posted, and there will be nothing to watch, but if you would like to listen, it was fascinating. Have you ever been around a mentalist or I mean, it's completely different than like a psychic or a or clairvoyant. It's different than that. It's a mentalist. It's not really magic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I've been around a couple of them. It's more about like reading people and kind of it's. I've always understood it to be akin to hypnotism, but not really with the gimmicks of it.
Right.
So
and Seth is very good at it, and I don't mean that in a way like he tricks you. He doesn't like that word for but he's very genuine, and he okay, for example, so Invisible Rob came up there, and he's visible on the video that I posted. So if you want to see what Invisible Rob looks like, he's on there. Anyway, his birthday was Saturday, and I had informed Seth that that he would be coming up, and it was his birthday, and just general info, like nothing where he would nothing he would know ahead of time, to be able to make it look like he knows all, or whatever, like as mentalist. But I got to show this. I don't have the big picture, but I'll try to take a picture of it and post it. But okay, so where we were is the place was a cigar place, a guy that owns a cigar company. We were at his private place, and this is he gave this to us. This has a picture of Invisible Rob on it holding the Ace of Spades, which was part of the thing that he did for Rob for his birthday. And yes, it's very. I don't know how that, because I mean, I sent him that picture, the picture that's on here. I sent him that.
Sure.
But of him holding the card that Rob, I mean, Rob could have chose any card in that entire deck. I don't see how he could have known, and those are pre-printed. Obviously, he did that before we even got there.
Yeah.
And it's around the cigar. I mean, it's it's on the cigar. So it's hard to see, but I'll have to see if Seth has a blown up picture of that. But I mean, that's Rob holding the Ace of Spades on the darn cigar wrap.
I love it.
So it's things like that. He does things like that, but it's special things. It's like it's not trickery. It's and it's not like, I don't even know if, as I'd go as far as saying motivational speaking. But you'll see a little bit of it in that video where he's talking to Rob about kind of reaffirming Rob that you're doing the right thing in life. You're not messing up. You beat yourself up a lot, and he does. That's what's crazy. Like I didn't tell Seth anything about Rob.
I was going to say, it sounds hopeful. Like if you
it is
like that, you see a picture of yourself on a cigar, all of a sudden it's like, well, maybe the universe is kind of vibrating. Maybe we all are kind of connected.
And what was crazy also, or not? I don't want to say crazy. That just sounds like a crazy person. But no, what was interesting was, okay, so Seth was episode 208. Like, so you're 209. So. Episode 208 was Seth, and Seth said, "Remember that number and remind me of that when you come up." So I did. Towards the end of the show, I said, and it's on that video. So make sure you watch that if you want to know. But he deals in numerology also, in the ways that numbers work, and he explains the reasoning behind 208, and it's really fascinating. Like what are the chances that would be? He would be 208, and that's what that means. I'm not going to say it because watch it if you want to watch it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I made it the feature video, so that way if you can't watch it now and you need to come back and watch it later, it'll be the first thing that shows up
Pops up.
when you come up onto the YouTube page. So it was it sucks that it didn't work out, but I invited Seth to come down here. I said, come down here. We'll do dinner. We'll do drinks, and just come to. We can do it right here in the studio, and we can do something different.
Yeah, take
He
two.
did do a little bit of magic, with the shots coming out of his pocket. I mean, he had the one in his coat pocket, which was because he wore like a suit, like a bow tie and a suit jacket. But the other shot that he got out came from his pants pocket. Now, how in the hell can an uncovered shot come out of your pocket like that? How?
You're a lot more. You've got to be a lot more flexible than I am if you can do that. That's all I'm gonna say.
It was fun. It was interesting. It was encouraging. Actually, I haven't seen Rob since he left that night. I've talked to him. Like he's here. He made it back. But
Yeah.
I stayed at a hotel that night. I wasn't going to drive back. But I think he's just. Hopefully, he's just kind of. He feels better about things, and I think that's what he does. That's it's more of an encouragement than a. But it's fun also. I mean, he can do those little things like the shots and things like. We did this thing with I don't know whether they were stones, but they were like they looked like stones, but they're all different shapes, different colors and stuff. Me and Rob picked the exact same one with both of our backs, or with his back turned. He picked the same one that I picked.
I love it.
I mean, it's just there's no way around that. I could have picked any of those, and Rob ended up picking this exact same one because it was like a brotherhood kind of thing. He was the one with me and Rob, so. I don't know. It was fun. We'll have him back on, even if we don't do it here. I will go up there and I will punch whoever messed up my cell signal. I will find them and I will punch them in the face and be like, listen,
Ended up dealing with some dial AOL.
You know who I am, shit like that. Mm-hmm. But anyway, it was like I said, it was still a fun weekend. It was a fun weekend, and it was interesting because it wasn't a music show, and that's what I'd like to do that every once in a while. It's just.
Branch out, yeah. Do something
else, yeah, something else. So, but what have you been doing, Shenendoah? It's been like I said, it's been the week that me and you can remember, or you and I can remember. It was 159 shows ago on episode 50,
at least.
And I'm thinking there was an appearance somewhere after that, but since we can't remember, we'll just go ahead and say 159 shows ago, Shenendoah was on episode 50 with me, and gosh, you were doing good then. What are you up to now? I know you've told me, but go ahead and tell the folks what you've been up to.
We've been doing a lot. We've been doing a lot of theater. We've been doing a lot of writing. We've been doing a lot of poetry. Doing a lot of recording.
Are you still with what's his name? Is it Quick or Fast or what's his name? Phil.
Phil Circle, Mr. Swift. Yeah, no,
Swift. Phil, yes, Swift. I knew it was something.
Phil Circle. He's
yeah.
Yeah, he's Guilt by Associations. Then they now have a second school for music. They just managed to open up. They've got one in Chicago, now they're in LA as well. And nice. They're doing well in both fronts, killing it, going back and forth between the two. They just had another showcase in LA, I want to say like not last weekend, but the weekend before that. So yeah, they're still out there. They're still doing it. I actually was just talking to Darren, the other member of GBA, this afternoon because I was doing some live streams and he tuned in. I keep saying we got to get a GBA reunion on the East Coast, but that's next year. That's soon.
Yeah. All right, now will you do like a full like showcase? You said showcase. So is that like a concert of the artists that are with?
Yeah, so like what Phil does, because he's mostly, a lot of what he does is teaching. I think he's one of the top, if not the top, guitar instructors in Chicago. And he now is, climbing the ranks in LA as well. And he has monthly or bi-monthly showcases where all the students come in, show what they're working on, show songs that they've written. So he likes to help develop artists to show their own potential. And that's kind of the whole reason behind GBA, or, Guilt by Associations. It was giving the artists the power to own their own brand, own their own direction. So
now if we may backtrack a little bit, because I think I asked you about this the first time you were on. How did you find him, or did he find you? I can't remember correctly.
We got connected through the myriad of ways. We ended up I think I found him through a connection on a social media app Shaper. It's little networking app.
Heard of that one? Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Somebody said, you sound like you'd be a great fit for this guy I know. I'd love to connect you. He connected me with Phil. We hit it off like gangbusters, kindred spirits. Went out to. He said, "Hey, you want to come out to Chicago, do a mini tour?" And this was in 2019, right before we moved to New York.
Yeah.
And so I went out to Chicago. We did the little mini tour, and it was amazing. We played 3 different locations. We did a radio interview. Can't ask for more than that. So
Yeah, he's how many artists are under his I guess wing? I don't know how you would say it.
there used to be 5. I think now that we're just back down to 4, or maybe even just the 3. But I know the one of our artists went into film. There's a lot of crossover, in the arts. She went into film and directing and producing her own content. And then the other gentleman, I think, also is doing architecture, which is what Darren also did. So it's a funny little circle in the Phil circle.
Yeah,
Where
it's a circle of trust, is what it is, right?
that's what it is, absolutely.
I was pulling up something here for man, it's gonna take a minute, but I'll pull it up here later. It's your 2 pictures of you in uniform.
Oh no! Oh,
But I'll ask, but I'll wait till those load up, and then I'll ask you about that later. But because it'll take me a second here. But yeah, that's it. Sounds like he's got it. Does anybody help him with all this stuff? Because I mean, it sounds like he's got a lot to do.
He's got a whole
Secretary.
host of teachers in the Chicago area, and he's got a whole host of teachers in the LA area. It's a lot of
Right.
people I mean, he's got 25, 30 years in the industry, so he's built up a lot of connections, some of the people who've worked with and played with and trained with the best, and that's really what makes him so good at what he does, and his genuine desire to see people be the best version of themselves as well. So
That's and see, I still want to talk to him. Like I remember how we were trying to do that before, but he's so busy though. I don't think. I mean, maybe 5 minutes with him probably.
no, I keep saying we need to do a GBA reunion, and maybe we'll be able to swing that for here an episode.
Yeah. I'm just to kind of get a different. That'd be a different show, or different 5 minutes. I don't know. I don't want to take up too much of his time. He's a busy man.
And now we got to dodge the time zone thing too, because it used to be just Chicago, and Chicago's.
I've had a couple wins from Chicago one, so
For sure.
it's only what an hour behind.
I was gonna say, Chicago's an hour and LA's 3. So
Yeah, I had Artillery and Storm. They're from Chicago, and the majority, or if not all, I can't remember, all of them. The majority of them, or all of them, work for Shure microphones.
nice, very nice.
So I had an issue with my SM58, and could just send them a message on Instagram, be like, this is what's going on. Here's some pictures, and yeah, not fixable. And I wasn't going to send it in because there was a flat rate, to repair, and I might as well just get a new. I don't need one right now, so it's fine. I get one when I want. And then the one of the guitar players in Artillery and Storm is in a more of a like a, I don't want to say techno, but like more of an electronic group, and also in Chicago. So they're called And the Animal, and so we did a show. I did a show with them also, and it was awesome because where their practice space was in like this. It looked like a high rise, but I don't know what kind. It was like an apartment, but the whole window you could see the whole city. It was awesome. I was like, that's not real. That's a backdrop that you just but it was real. So. I've never been to Chicago. I'd love to go.
It's a beautiful city. It's pretty.
Yeah. I was going to go. I had this Hilton thing. I'm on the rewards crap since I travel all the time.
Yeah.
But I had this thing where I had a free weekend at a resort anywhere, at one of their places on the list. Then COVID hit.
Oh,
COVID just messed up everybody.
We're just now putting it back together. That's the point.
We're trying it, and this show was birthed from the pandemic, so I can't say too much about it bad, but I can because it did mess up a lot of things.
It did mess up a lot, but it did lead to some good things.
Like you keep me alive. Damn it!
Absolutely.
I honestly didn't think this show was going to go 3 years. I didn't think it was going to go beyond 10. I wasn't. I was going to do 10 episodes of this and just put it down, because things were starting to open up by the time I'd started doing it. So
For sure.
and people are like, "Well, who's the next guest?" I'm like, nobody, because it's done. But here I am at 209. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's
We need
crazy.
to celebrate, 300.
Well, I mean, I just celebrated 200, so we got it baby steps. I'm still trying to figure out why I didn't get connection with the mentalist. Maybe he had something to do with it. I don't think he did, but
I mean, he is a mentalist. Come on,
I don't
that's
think
50%.
it works like that. But I don't know. I don't know. But no, the place we were at, we mentioned it on the show, so I guess it's okay to mention because you don't know where it's at still. But the guys, I guess clubhouse, it's members only pretty much, and it's you gotta be invited there basically, and we were invited. So there's like humidor in there, and there's a case of vintage liquor, like I'm talking $600 bottles of stuff that you could get. You could take it out of if you have the key, but you have to pay for it. He's not gonna put it in there unless. But the guy his name's Island Jim, and he does Island Jim cigars. If you search Island Jim on Google, like I did, because I didn't know who it was, it comes up like every single search result is these different cigar companies featuring Island Jim cigars, and he moves a crap ton of them. I'm not a big cigar person, but he does well. He's from Pittsburgh, so
Nice.
I thought that was cool though. I mean, I got invited to a private club, and you didn't. I had to know the knock and everything.
I'm still learning my first handshake.
What was that for? I mean, I'm not what was it, but like, what was it for?
It was for my own club, and I never learned it, so I could never get in.
Your own club?
Exactly.
Does anybody else know it?
No, nobody could learn it. I never.
Well, then you have to do another one then.
I guess.
What kind of club do you run?
It's not that kind of club, but no, it's
Oh, it's not secretive then.
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can. I've only done this a couple times, but I'm gonna have to do it anyway here in a minute. But let me. I have some questions about this picture. You know what I'm talking about.
I have a few questions about it as well, but I
Let's see if I can get. Let's do. But I mean, I can do a desktop view. That's fine. Well, let me see what this looks like.
can you do the picture-in-picture stuff?
Kind of. I mean, it's a little bit. Basically, I just want to show the photo. So yeah, let's try this and see what happens. Let me know what you see. You see that picture there?
I see it.
Okay, now that's you, right?
That is me.
Now the other one. Whoops. Oh, leave that up there. Okay. The other one is right here. Now, in the email after you sent me these, I didn't want to use these for like social media because I needed to know things.
They need context. They do.
Yeah. So let me hit stop share here. There. I'm gonna have to go back and share my audio, I think. But so it kind of give us what is going on in these. I know you're like you were a part of a. I'll let you explain. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I, as as an actor, director, singer, songwriter, I do a lot of different things, and one of the things I did recently was Marion, or the True Tale of Robin Hood, and I got to play Friar Tuck and Sheriff of Nottingham, and that happened to be my costume for Sheriff of Nottingham.
Oh, which makes sense because it says sheriff on it.
It
Right?
says sheriff. You got to know who the sheriff is. And I want to, first and foremost, I want to thank, the Irvington Police Department for their extreme.
Now this is where it gets interesting, right?
This is where it gets very interesting. They were extremely diplomatic, but I do understand. I was walking back from the theater, from the dressing room, and I had this vest on, and I'm, in my glasses, and I'm, sort of in character probably, and I'm in my own little world. And I guess I walked past two undercover cops who watched me walk, and they go, "Who the fuck is that guy?" And rightfully so. So they sent a couple of officers around to ask and say, "Hey, what are you guys doing? You in the flak jacket, come here. What are you?
Yeah.
Are you law enforcement? Is that a bulletproof vest? What are you doing here?" And they were extremely graceful. They handled it really, really well. It could have been a really, really bad situation,
Yeah, it could have been.
And in hindsight, the running joke was, where did we get this jacket?
Yeah, I mean, that was going to be my next question. Who acquired this?
So apparently, you can do these like Cricut. You can do like print design logos, design branding things. Our costume designer did an amazing job,
apparently.
stencil and did a stencil and put it on a Velcro, flak jacket.
So it wasn't a real flak jacket then. It was just
no. It was just like it was like a Walmart. It actually felt like a fishing vest.
It was painted black and said sheriff on it. I don't know where I got it.
Sheriff. So
did you have to tell them where you got? I mean, or did you just?
No, they didn't take it that far. It was just more, hey, what are you doing? It was, we're putting on a show, we're doing some theater, and as soon as it was that, they were kind of like, oh, well, maybe don't walk around town in that, my friend. And
I mean, like, character. I mean, like, hello. I mean, character.
Sure. But I did have to think about it, and I understand. Given the climate, given everything that's been going on, I felt really bad about it afterwards. I was like,
I mean, they shouldn't have been undercover. Those undercover guys, if they weren't undercover, they could have helped society a little bit. I mean, how are you supposed to know they're cops if they're undercover? See, that's how you deal with that. No, I'm kidding. But I had Colony Claps on from Denver, or both from Pittsburgh, but they live in Denver now, and they were shooting a music video somewhere in town, and it was one of those like pedestrian bridges that goes over the highway. Like a busy interstate, and they were dressed in like they had sheets over them, like because they were like ghosts, but like they wanted to make it like the ghost costume with a sheet over your head.
Ghost, yeah.
Cut in, and they were stopped, and it was something like that. I can't remember the entire story, but it was something like that, and the cop was like, well, what are you guys doing and stuff like that. But I mean, why would you have somebody in a sheet? They're a ghost. You're not supposed to be able to see them. Leave them alone. Danny knows all about that. Danny Strickle.
Hey, as long as I didn't get in trouble, because then the other costume is I had to wear this giant cross and I had to, walk around and I didn't get in trouble for impersonating a priest.
You just walked into a church and said, "What's up?"
No, funny story. We actually ended up, because it rained, we ended up performing in a church for the second and third performance. And one of the actors, they were like, "Well, Friar Tuck will feel he'll feel right at home." So,
now, did you? When you put that sheriff's vest on, did you even think that anything like that was going to occur?
So I don't think I thought about it in the moment like that. When I was walking out and I didn't realize it until we walked out and were going up to the performance space, which was in the parking lot of school. It was outdoor theater space. And the place where the theater changing room was happened to be next to the police station.
Perfect.
And I'm walking back by a police car, and I look down and I look at the actor, with me playing Prince John, and I'm like, I probably shouldn't wear this. I'm gonna get in trouble for him.
You should have checked the handle and see if it was unlocked, and just get in like you're going to work. That would be hilarious. That would have been good.
Like the start of a bad movie, but oh man. But no, I in hindsight, I think I knew better. I just didn't, the theater was right there. It was 100 yards from
I take it you're still up in Peekskill, correct?
Yeah, still in Peekskill.
Okay. Now, so you think that there's things being filmed constantly in California and like LA especially, but probably not in Peekskill. So that's probably why they were like, what is going on here? But
exactly.
LA, they're probably like, okay, oh, that's the shoot for NYPD or whatever.
Right. It's out of the ordinary, and I think part of it was nobody had really. I don't think it had been communicated that.
Well, I mean, one thing's that it's a flak jacket.
Real.
One thing I can see the concern for a flak jacket, but the other thing, if it says sheriff on it, he's on your side. Leave him alone. Leave him alone. You know what I mean? Why would they be concerned about
everything's fine here, officer? Move along.
Yeah, I know more than you. I was sent here. Apparently, you didn't get the memo. You know what I mean? I
will say at first they did think I was, in charge of them filming something. They were like, "Hey, are you guys filming something? Are you law enforcement? Like, what's going on here?" And I was like, "No."
Are you law enforcement? That's what I'd say. Are you law enforcement?
Well, they were definitely law enforcement. They had the big, pretty cars.
Probably would have had to show a badge eventually too. I'm sure.
And the only badge I had fell off.
Or the blue line, something with the blue line on it. If you would have shown that, like a tattoo of it or something, they would have been fine. Okay, sir.
Got a blue heart. Does that count as something?
A what? Blue what?
Blue heart,
Oh yeah, you do have a blue heart. Is that for me?
it is.
Um, now this audio that you sent me with no vocals, which I'm kind of disappointed, but that's okay because I guess I will hear these eventually, right?
It's a surprise. It's a work in process.
Now I always arrange these when I have the guests send me a couple of their songs. I always arrange these by my favorite. So my favorite is last. Okay, so it means nothing to you at all. It's just my personal in the way I think like show format kind of.
Yeah, the mood. Yeah,
nothing for you to really worry about. But so the first one is Invisible Man. Tell me something about this. If anything you want to say, don't tell me anything about the lyrics because I don't want to know yet. Or do I want to know? Is it about Invisible Rob?
I don't know.
That's what I really need to know. I need to tell Rob if it's about him or not.
I think it's about all of us. It's about every single one of us to a degree. Invisible Man is kind of when we look in the mirror and there's that part of us that we're trying to hide, or there's that part of us that we haven't yet come to terms with, maybe. It's really inspired. I started, going through a lot of exploration of different sounds, and this one is kind of inspired from Peter Gabriel and some, very eclectic alternative rock.
I was going to say it does sound a little bit different than your previous record, and this will be on a new full length.
That is what we're working on right now. We're hoping I would like to have it out by the end of the year, but I've got so much else going on. We'll see if that happens.
Yeah. Well, let's take a listen to Invisible Man, and then we will watch something that you sent to me in a little bit. Here's Invisible Man. Now, I don't get to say this very often because I have a lot of more like metalcore bands on or rock bands on. That's Baby making music right there. Now there are some rock and metal songs you can say that too, but that was definitely that's what that was.
The lyrics might push it in a different direction, but it's the sounds and exploring all the different layers of that are really.
What all did you use? I was asking you, was that keys that one?
There's a lot of different keys. There's a lot of different synthesizers. There's a lot of different electronic elements kind of layered together.
Like it.
It's kind of just it was like I said, it was exploring all the sounds that I grew up listening to, Peter Gabriel, David Bowie, Talking Heads and Dire Straits and
maybe some Zappa a little bit.
Well, maybe way too much Zappa. But yeah, it's layering all of that and then creating this thematic soundscape, and that's kind of what led to the lyrics in this case.
Well, that's good. I mean, like that all of that because we always I say this a lot too on the show. You always hear the same stuff, bands sounding like somebody else, and I hate comparing bands. Usually I can't. Usually I can't compare bands to bigger names. Right. But that it's so much. I love hearing what newer artists and bands are doing. They're trying to do their own sound, and they're what they want. They know who they want to sound like, but they're trying to do their own version of it with different instruments or different sounds, and that's what's and it's happening more and more as I do this, interview more and more people. They're coming up with let's see, was Alex Stanoa last week. He's got some theremin on. I mean, he's not playing it, but
but the band uses
you can hear that in there. It's like, wow. That does add a different element to that song, It's and so I love that, and that's. Do you remember the Moog DFAM that I have, right?
Yeah.
I still have it, and I've sent it back for repairs several times. Well, since I told you I was kind of comfortable right now, I ordered another one last night. So now I'm going to have two of them, and the possibilities with two of these things is crazy because they it's a very different instrument, and I think it comes tomorrow or the next day. I can't remember. I think it's the next day.
Can you play them off each other?
You can sync them together, yes, and do some. I've seen as many as there's a lady named Lisa Belladonna that you can look up on YouTube that she plays pretty much everything that Moog puts out. Like they just give her things and she just plays them. Like, I mean, she knows how to work them. But she's in a room. There's a video where she's in a room. There's like, I don't know. There looks like there's 50 DFAMs in there, but they're all the same instrument. They're all the same synthesizer, and they're all patched and synced together. And she just goes off on this. I mean, it's crazy what she does with this thing. And so, I mean, it's not gonna be like that. It's just gonna be two, or just one. I mean, I'm happy with just one of them, but I can't wait to sync these. But see, that my old one here, it needs to be sent in for repair, but. There's the part that it needs. It's on. They're waiting for the part to come in. So it'd be dumb for me to send it out, and I'm using it on the natural cause stuff. So I'm not comfortable sending it out right now. So I just went ahead and got another one. Heck with it. I'll keep this one for parts. Parts.
Exactly.
So, yeah, but it's exciting that bands and artists are coming up with instead of just doing guitar and a little bit of other accompaniment, let's put some weird in there, but make it sound great, and it does sound good. It sounds really good.
Yeah.
Is the whole record going to be like that?
No. Actually, so that what's really funny is I even toyed with sending you. I've got some really obscure. I've got like a hip hop track that I'm going to throw on there.
Are you gonna rhyme, or do you have a Busta Rhymes guy coming to do that?
I really probably need to hire somebody for that. I'm way too white for that. But
no, I am too. And I'm terrible at it anyway. But there's some really good white guys that can do it, though.
Absolutely.
Eminem would be good. Get him. I'm sure Phil knows him.
Yeah, I'll just put in the call. But no, I've got, because like I said, I was exploring with the sounds. I've got a little bit of like an emo rock song that I'm gonna throw on there. A little bit of a '90s rock song I'm gonna throw on there. I'm kind of trying to cover,
I would scrap the emo one. Don't do the emo. No, I'm kidding. Do whatever you want. But I mean, like, Yeah, that's good though, because it makes the whole record diverse. You know.
Exactly. I kind of want it to be one of those things where if you play any single track and then you hear the next track, you're like, well, this is a mix. This isn't the same artist. And then
I'm
you
gonna
hear the next track and you're like, oh, this can't be the same artist. But it's like, no, this is all that one guy. This is him.
I'm going to load up this. I'm trying to do these things now. This whole screen share thing is new. I don't do it very often on here, but I'm gonna bring up the. Just keep talking. You know
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know you know what I'm gonna bring up. So
Oh yeah,
go
yeah.
ahead. Go ahead.
Well, so yeah, the album is actually it's about 70%. It's about 70% done right now, and it's actually even going to feature a couple of tracks. Me and a friend from Morgantown who now lives in. Oh, I hope I get it right. I think he's now in Kentucky.
Who is that? Do we know him?
Xavier Torres. I don't think we've ever had him on, but we're gonna have to.
We
Uh,
are gonna have to. Yes.
and he plays almost it's like math rock almost, and he does it in all kinds of alternate tunings and
That
alternate.
stuff is difficult.
He's an amazing guitarist. He's one of the best guitarists I've ever had the pleasure of playing with, and so we've got a couple of songs that we're gonna try and include on this. And then I've got I think eight or nine. I can't remember how many. And so hopefully, if everything works out by the end of the year, we'll have another album for you guys.
Now, in addition to your songwriting, and like we touched on with your flak jacket incident, you do some acting, you do some playwriting, you do some directing. I guess what we're gonna watch now is a preview of what?
This is a trailer for a one-man adaptation of Henry V, which is William Shakespeare, and this is adapted from 5 of his plays from the Henriade, which are a series of historical plays about the rule of the Henrys in Britain.
I know nothing about that stuff. I didn't pay attention when we did Shakespeare, but hey, here it is. Check it out. That's a terrific trailer. That's very well done.
That's it's
Sure.
so the whole premise of Henry V, for anybody who doesn't know, it's a historical piece. The king went to war with France. King of England went to war with France, and laid siege to Harfleur, and then there's the famous battle at Agincourt, and that's basically really condensed version of what Henry V covers. My version kind of deals a little bit more with some of the ancillary characters. We get to see Richard II. We get to see Falstaff, who's a very fun character. He's probably one of the better known Shakespearean characters.
Does he wear a flak jacket?
No, nobody's gonna wear any flak jackets this time.
Now, in the trailer, that's you, right? That's
That is, yeah.
okay.
That's I'm gonna be playing all. I think there are 6 characters that I'm playing.
So there's nobody else is in it. It's just you.
Yeah, it's one man adaptation,
That's awesome.
and it's probably one of the bigger things that I've ever undertaken. Adapting it myself as well is from 5 of Shakespeare's works. I never would have told anybody that I would do something so crazy.
That takes quite a bit of studying on those characters individually too. You got to know how to. I don't know how acting works. I'm not an actor, obviously.
Absolutely, it is. Yeah, it is. You've got to create the characters. You got to learn them. I keep telling the running joke right now between me and David, the director, and we've worked together a bunch of times, is that I know most of the characters. I know these guys. I know this guy. and these two characters are my stepmothers, but you're gonna have to teach me who the hell this character is. I'm still struggling to meet this man.
Yeah.
But we've got a really interesting take on it as well that kind of modernizes it, puts it in the lens of celebrity and conquest for recognition, validation, importance, having your name be remembered years after you're gone. And that's kind of what brought me to toy with the tagline and the phrase that you saw right there before the this September. What is honor?
Yeah. Yeah. And is it would it have been possible? I know it's probably quite a job to for could you have directed yourself also, or do you have to have somebody else as part of that team? I'm sure.
So I've directed myself before, and actually David and I, the one of the things that we've worked on together, we co-directed and co-starred in John Logan's Red about the painter Mark Rothko. And we took that to a couple of theater festivals. We won Best Play and
Wow. Yeah, I remember. I think I remember that you were telling me about that.
That one we kind of co-directed. That's kind of directing yourself. But it does, when you're doing theater, it really does help to have a second pair of eyes.
Somebody on the other side looking at you.
Exactly. It's easier if you're on film, you can say, all right, I'm going to put on my hat. I'm going to be the director now. I'm going to shoot it, and then we're going to go act the scene. And then you take off your hat, you walk around in front of the camera, and you go, okay, now I'm going to be the actor. It's a lot harder to switch between those two. I think there's a lot more direct interplay between those in the theater, in my opinion.
Now, would this be a theater production that you can see live, people in your area or wherever you're going to do this, or is this something we can you can send to or post? I guess. So
we're gonna. I think we're going to film it for editing and try and release like a condensed filmed version of because we're doing 3 performances. It's going to be another outdoor space in Ararat, Virginia. And
I'm not familiar with that area. Where is that?
It's exactly? Just north. It's like, I want to say it's like 10. I'm really, really bad with distance. It's not very far from the Virginia, North Carolina border. So it's okay. southern Virginia.
Gotcha.
But it's a beautiful outdoor space. It's called the Cherry Orchard Theater. Which anybody who's familiar with theater, Cherry Orchard is a famous Chekhov play.
Okay.
So it's really it seems steeped in the arts. It seems steeped in the history of the arts, and it seems like the really appropriate place to host. I should have had Tracy co-host this show with me, because when we graduated high school together, we never talked to each other in high school because I was in band and she was in theater. She did theater.
So that you would think that that's what I didn't even think about that. Well, I figured we would have been okay with conversation. I don't use co-host because I'm not worried about the conversation. I just,
for sure.
I have a network of co-hosts now, and it's crazy how that works out. I have a guy that lives in London to co-host with me when I have earlier shows, like earlier in the day, because they're like 5 hours ahead of us. Oh, yeah, but yet, Tom came on as a guest. I found him, we found each other through music, and I had him on as a guest, and from that point on, he sometimes he'll come back as a guest, but yeah, he'll co-host with me when I have like band. I had a band from Sweden. That was the last time he co-hosted. I had a band from Sweden. He co-hosted also because it was like 4 in the afternoon for me, which is like prime time for them. So
yeah.
So yeah, we've become really good friends. Through that, but yeah. Yeah, and then Tracy, she's here, so she comes up there and bothers me, and then I have Harmon. I don't think Harmon was on quite yet the last time when you were around before, but Harmon lives up near State College, PA, and okay. Nice. He came on. He's been on as a guest a few times for his band called The Hated, and it's his wife plays the bass, and his brother no longer plays, but his brother at the time was playing guitar with him, but he does the vocals, and now he's doing the guitar and the drums, so like he's doing all his own thing. I actually went and visited him. It's about 3 hours from here, and went up and visited him, and so we've met in person and stuff, and so I got him. Every once in a while when I have a banging he's terrific when it comes to like comparing, but not comparing, like we were talking about, And it seems like Harmon can come up with the way the band sounds more accurately than I can, So I try to get him. But he's been a great friend too. So yeah, this I just kind of want to touch on this for a bit, but since we're talking about that, this Sunday, this show's getting old, and this show's getting gray hairs, just kind of like I am. But Sunday we'll celebrate 3 years of this madness. And did you get the email? I sent out an email last night to the folks that I'd asked to if they would like to, or they expressed interest in jumping on for a little bit. But it's I hate to even do a celebration show because the show's not a show without a guest, right? So that's why I had Dan Skiz on from Powerman 5000 on the 200th show because I would never have gotten to a 200th show without a guest. That's what the principle is. But I figured let's just kick back and get wasted. No, I'm getting. Or am I? No, Invisible Robert will be here and Bo will be here. We're going to jam something for the intro. We're not going to play any Natural Cause stuff just because we don't. We need practice, and we just don't want to things that aren't released yet. We don't want to play yet, but we're going to jam something on. Three guys with guitars, basically, and see what we can come up with. Bo does a lot of Bo McMillian. His when he performs alone, it's a one-man band thing. He's got the loopers and the he makes beats with his mouth, things like that. So we're gonna have him kind of get that going, and then we'll start a jam somehow like that. So that it's gonna be fun. So tune in when you can, or tune in if you can on Sunday at 8. If you can't tune in, of course it'll be on the YouTube. But you're more than welcome to join also, Shenendoah. If you want to jam with us, I mean, I don't know how good with the latency and everything that would be, but
we can always give it a try. I don't think I've ever actually played through Zoom with something because there is always that limited like multi.
Well, I haven't used it yet either, but there's a new mode on Zoom. See, I have the paid version that enables me to go live, but like on different everywhere, but there's a new mode that they just came out with that's supposed to be for live performances over Zoom, and I haven't used it yet. So we'll have to think about that sometime. I'll probably do that like as a private, unannounced thing, just to see how it works. But I mean, I've had full bands perform through Zoom before. They just drop a microphone in the middle of the room, and it's. I mean, it sounds like a stream would, with the cuts here and there. But I mean, overall, like the instruments and stuff, you can hear it, all of it. It's crazy how technology works, sometimes, or doesn't work like it did freaking Saturday night. It's like
works when it wants to.
So many examples you can make with that. What's okay? The title must be not all there on this one. I just see tell. Is it scratch?
So yeah, it's just called Tell. It's I think I didn't rename the file. It was a scratch track, but it's been edited and added to and recorded for about 3.5, 6 months now.
Yeah, it takes time. It takes time to perfect something. I know that now with Natural Cause stuff. Listening to the same song over and over again until it's perfect, right? This was my favorite of the two that you sent me. I mean, I like that other one. It's different listening in cans than it is on a speaker.
Yeah.
But tell me a little bit about this one.
So this is actually an older song. This is a song that's probably about 11 years old, but I've never released it. It's not one that I've ever played out a lot. It's just something I've kind of kept in the back pocket, waiting until I could hear those right sounds and had the capability to kind of put them together. So this is a piece very close to the heart, very close to the home, and it's a little bit about regret and about questioning.
It's so hard to hear it. It would be hard for anyone to hear it since it be about that without any vocals on the the track we have. But I've had an instrumentalist on before that just does instrumental guitar, Zach Cray, and he names his songs and he said what they were about, and you can kind of feel the emotions with the instruments. So it is going to be cool to hear it like that first. That way when it does come out with vocals on it, it's just like, oh, I see why he was building it here or quieter there. That's what's interesting about that's. I like it.
It becomes a whole new experience.
I like this take this. So it's just called Tell.
It's called Tell, kind of like a poker tell,
or like Penn and Teller. It's not something, I don't know. But Teller was the silent one, correct? Yeah.
Were either of them silent? They were both pretty talkative, weren't they?
Well, no, Penn was the bigger dude that talked all the time, and Teller was the one that never said anything. Right. Yeah. Hence Teller. I don't know. Whatever. That's just whatever. Here's Tell by Shenendoah. That's I love that. I can't wait to hear what you got. What else you're going to do with that one? That's just there's a lot of emotion in there. You can hear the emotion and the changes, like we were talking about before we played it. Just like I just want to know where your vocals are going with that. I can hear it. I can hear it. Like I can hear your voice in there doing things, but I don't know where they're going to be.
And it's like sense? I said, it's an older song, so it was one of those songs that I had the luxury of over time taking a look at what the feelings of the song were and then going, all right, well, how do I articulate this? And then how did I articulate this then? How would I articulate this now? How do I make it something that we can all kind of relate to? And where's that sweet spot right in the middle.
It's going to be a beautiful song. I can hear it. Is it? You think it'll be the title track or the feature track? I guess.
That one is
You got some
that's
good. You got some other good. You got some good stuff, don't you? Coming
there's
up.
only
You got some
two
good stuff.
others. There's only two others that are contenders. That one's probably going to end up being the title.
Well, I can't wait to hear it. But take your time on it. Don't rush it and try to release something by the end of the year if you don't have to. If it's not something's not working, you know how it goes. Just do. You got a lot going on anyway. Gosh, you're starring in your own film, and you're not you're dodging the police with your flak jacket. You just got so much going on.
Yeah, you got to stay busy.
Speaking of so much going on, I think it's time to talk wieners. What do you think?
Oh dear.
Yeah.
What kind of?
Now Shenendoah has no idea. We weren't doing this segment back when you were even if you did come on afterwards. I'm thinking you did. We'll have to go back and look. But even then, I mean, this is entirely new. But I'm not going to say anything until you hear this. This is my father. Okay, this is my father, and my mom is in it at a certain point. So just listen.
I know a weenie man. He owns a weenie stand. He sells most anything from hot dogs on down. Someday I'll join his life and be his
weenie wife.
hot dog. I love that weenie man.
Okay. The other day, my dad said, "You're not still playing that, are you?" I was like, "Yes, I am." Anyway, okay, so I have a roommate named Mike that I met at a restaurant that I was working at, even after you were on. So I mean, this is really new stuff. So Mike has a restaurant up that he just opened up in Marion County, up near Fairmont, along the Husky Highway. You probably know the Husky Highway. Well, he opened up a nice restaurant, and I haven't been there yet, but we're gonna do a live feed from there at some point, maybe next week or the week after. I don't know, sometime when I'm not busy and he's not busy. But anyway, this is all his idea. This segment is all his idea, and I tried it once and it kind of took off. So I do it every single time now. And Mike loves hot dogs. So it has nothing to do with wieners like you thought, like your gross mind.
I was actually thinking about hot dogs.
So yes, he loves hot dogs, and you know how good hot dogs are in West Virginia, and the culture around hot dogs in West Virginia, and what it means when you go in and say, "Oh, I'll have two with everything." You know about that stuff.
Oh yeah.
So basically, what this is Mike he would like to know what you'd like on your hot dogs first, and then after that, where in Peekskill can he go to get a good hot dog? I know that you probably know about Yan's in Morgantown, but he knows about that stuff. So I don't know if he's ever been to Peekskill, probably not, but
So where can you go to get a good hot dog?
Well, what are your favorite toppings for a hot dog first?
First, the favorite toppings. So I do two different kinds of toppings. The first one is the way that my adopted grandfather taught me, and that is you do a little bit of relish, a little bit of diced onion, a little bit of mustard, a little bit of ketchup, a little bit of chili, a little bit of cheese.
Are these all in different points of the hot dog, or are you just?
Well, you kind of
doing
build
that
it from the outside in. It's kind of like you would at a gourmet restaurant. You have to eat with from the outside in. So it's you do your relish, your onion, your ketchup, your mustard, and then your chili and your cheese right on top. And it's
so you would qualify as pretty much whatever they have offering for toppings. You would probably take anyway.
That would probably be like an everything. The second way to do a hot dog is diced real finely, stir fried in a little bit of rice with some soy sauce. Makes it like a little Asian kind of stir fry.
You put it on a bun or no bun?
I don't know if I'd put that on. That'd be a very interesting hot dog on a bun. It'd be like an Asian.
It'd be an interesting bun. That's what you were going to say. It'd be an interesting bun, right?
Mm-hmm. Then you're getting two starches because the rice as well. But
Oh yes, the rice.
I just do the rice in a bowl with chopsticks and.
Okay, well, I mean, like Peekskill is kind of near New York, right? Like, so you'd be like kind of near Nathan's, I guess. I don't know where Nathan's is, but I know it's like in like.
Yeah.
So, but I'm sure Peekskill's got their own hot dog joint that's freaking terrific, right?
They have just about anything that you could want here in Peekskill. The best hot dog place. So
They're watching. They're listening, and
I know
you better be careful.
They're listening in. So I'm going to give you two,
I
actually.
should be sponsored by a hot dog company. You would think.
Well, I'm sure Nathan's is looking for. So the best hot dog place is downtown. It is the Peekskill Smokehouse. They do all kinds of different things: briskets, barbecues, burgers, the whole nine.
Wiener?
Oh, but they do a good wiener. They do one of the only places in town you can get a grilled wiener. Because everywhere else they just do them, boiled, do them like real quick. Yeah. And then the other spot we have, I don't know if you've ever been to a dog house. It's a little bit of a chain,
like an actual dog house, or no, I haven't. No,
no, I'm
sure Mike has though.
It's the Dog House with HAUS, and they have.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I've had a couple of people talk about that. Then yes. I know. I've never been there, but I know what you're talking about.
They're pretty good. They have the most eclectic dogs that you can get in Peekskill. You can get bacon on top of them. You can get them.
He has one on. I was waiting to see if you would say that, but yeah, he's on his menu at his restaurant. He's got a bacon dog. I don't see. I cannot taste that though. Like it's like, like I've had a lot of hot dogs in my life, but I cannot taste bacon on the hot dog. But I'm gonna have to try it.
I once made.
What better way than to try it?
I once made a bacon Gouda hot dog.
With Gouda cheese.
With Gouda cheese, like so, you crumble up the bacon.
And did you say, "This is Gouda. This is so Gouda," right?
When you took a bite, it was incredible. It was the goodest thing I ever had.
You do that, all right? Yeah.
All right.
I missed it. Yes, I got to do it again. There you go. You get the idea. Anyway. Yes, my friend Pete brought me over another sound machine, but it hooks up differently, so I'm gonna have to figure this thing out. I mean, this thing's got a bunch of them. So I'm gonna be really busy. I don't even all kinds of different. I mean, I can because I can only do like when I'm doing the stream, I can only do 3. So I kept the rim shot and the crowd that we played before we went live is the like default, and then there's a couple stupid ones that are on there. But and then the other ones, of course, my dad singing. And I can't remove that unless he sings it again.
That's there. It's gotta be.
That's there forever. Yeah. A little bit about. Okay, so I have something really cool coming up, and then I have something really cool tomorrow actually. So I got just bear with me for a second. Coming up August the 2nd, I believe it's the 2nd. I don't remember dates very good, but it's all in my reminders and stuff. Dan Skids from Power Man 5000. I had him on show 200. They are playing. Power Man 5000 is on tour currently. They're doing a U.S. tour right now with I cannot remember the names of the bands, but I think it's Priest, former members of Ghost are on tour with them, and I can't remember the other one. I'm not even going to try it. But they're playing it in Pittsburgh. I'm going to see them and meet Dan in person because when he was on the show, he was in California because he lives in California. He was actually at Disneyland. It was his birthday, and his girlfriend had surprised him with the trip, and he didn't want to cancel the show, So he was at Disneyland on the show. So it's pretty cool. Check it out when you get a chance. Really cool guy. So I'll get to meet him in person and hang out with well, I probably won't get to hang out with Power Man. That would be badass. But I'm gonna inch my way towards the back to meet Spider. The lead singer, which is also Rob Zombie's brother, little brother. So I don't think I'm gonna get very far to meet him, but that would be badass. At least I'll get to see him. So that's coming up, and I doubt I'll be filming a little bit of stuff, but I'm not gonna overdo it. It'll be a big show, and I'll get some. I'll talk to Dan a lot, and and get some video with him, and I'll post that stuff up, at another time. So that's August 2nd, and then August the 4th. This one kind of came up out of nowhere because I wasn't planning it. It didn't come. It wasn't ahead of time. I didn't know like months ahead of time. I was just scrolling Instagram, and all of a sudden I see a post from Confessions of a Traitor, which is they're from London. They've been on the show twice. Really good band, and they recently signed to. I knew I was going to forget this, but they signed to a label, and they are coming to North America, August the 4th. And the closest they are going east is Fremont, Ohio, or Louisville, Kentucky. And I was like, well, I've never been to Fremont, never been to Louisville, but Fremont seems a little bit easier to get to, than trying to navigate Louisville, having not been there, right? So Fremont, Ohio, which is kind of close to Toledo, like you pass Cleveland, you pass Sandusky, then it's Fremont, and then it's Toledo. So I will be going to see Confessions of a Traitor that's from London. What are the chances that I would have ever got to meet them in person? But I will get to on the 4th, and they're excited, and I'm excited. I was like, I got my ticket, and I got my hotel. I'll see you guys there. And they're like, what? I'm like, hey, it's 4.5 hours away, but I'll do that. That's the furthest east that they're going. They're hitting California and Texas, all those places out west. Yeah. So I'm excited for that. Confessions of a Traitor. Check them out when you get a chance. It's terrific music, and they're touring with Convictions and Cultist and Bloodlines. So it'll be a great show. Oh, yeah. Great show in Fremont, Ohio, which I've never been to. So Fremont, here I come. Here comes Acute Mania Live. And I have this sticker on the back of my truck now that says Acute Mania Live. This it looks the same as the bumper sticker. Yeah. Without, it doesn't have the circle, but it's just the letters and the word. So yeah, they'll know I'm there for sure. They'll know when I pull up. So and then good. Oh, tomorrow. I was looking when we were listening to Tell. I had to go back to my email to make sure that I had got the confirmation back so I could announce it on the show. A former guest and former kind of co-host. He appeared a couple times. Viewers probably know him as Milkin' First. That's what his solo thing was. And that's how I met him. That he came on the show as Milkin' First. He's really funny. He puts out the hilarious videos, like TikTok videos, and just like ways to informative things. Like ways to record at home, like if you're using a DAW and stuff. He'll do that. But he does other ones that like just funny stuff. You just got to check it out. His name's Stefan, and he's in a band now called Paper Champs, and we're gonna interview Paper Champs tomorrow night. I grabbed another one. I grabbed another one for tomorrow night, and then I'm going to take the rest of the week off until Sunday. But Shenendoah, I love doing this show. You know that. I mean, you've been on a few times, and it's fun, and it's it's more fun when I don't want to say more fun, but it's just as fun when I have the older guests, the previous guests. No, but it is kind of a little bit more fun because you know how to take me. I know how to take you, and we take each other or something like that. You know what I mean? But it's fun to hear what you're up to now, and I get to show you that the things have gotten a little bit better around here. I don't get kicked off of platforms anymore that I know of. But if you're watching the show or now or even later, damn it, hit subscribe, because even if you don't like the show, hit subscribe anyway, and tell your friends that might not like it or will like it just to hit subscribe, because if I get to 1,000, I don't have to pay Zoom anymore, and plus I can get YouTube creator monetization. I mean, there's so much I can do. If you have a small business and you want to be talked about on the show, I will talk about anything, like sponsorship. Maybe I need to start saying that on the show. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to plug the whole show with sponsorships and advertisements, but got to spend money, make money, I guess, right?
That's the way.
But I especially local people are in West Virginia. I like to help out smaller businesses, yeah. Or even Peekskill. I'll help out small businesses in Peekskill, and it doesn't have to be about music. It doesn't have to be about anything that has to do with the show. But if you would like some advertisement and you can offer me something in return, or I can offer the viewers a discount by using, you know how these things go. I'm new to all the sponsorship stuff, but you would think 3 years of this would draw some kind of something.
I would recommend a pizza place, but I don't think a pizza's going to travel from Peekskill to Morgantown.
Well, no, it won't travel, but I mean, it'll if somebody in Peekskill's watching at that time, I just want to be able to give back, and I'm not making anything doing this. This all this stuff comes from me doing other things, working and stuff. But I just love doing it. I love doing it. I love showcasing your music. I love showcasing everybody's music around the world. And can you believe I've done 12 different countries? 12, and I'm only halfway through the states. So I don't know any bands from Wyoming. I haven't even come across one. None from North or South Dakota. It seems like it's the plain states. They're where it's more rural, I guess, right? So like New Mexico, I haven't had one from New Mexico. There's a list. I'll put it up sometime. But I sat down and thought about it one day, and I was like, okay, these are the states I've done. Vermont, haven't done Vermont. I have done Maine twice. I did have that band on twice. Maine, New Hampshire, none in New Hampshire, none in Delaware. Just. But I've done over 25 of them, and that's over half.
It's hit and miss.
I do want to do all of them eventually. Alaska's probably going to be pushing it, and I did talk to a band in Hawaii one time, but then we kind of haven't exchanged anymore. But bands are everywhere, dude. I mean, bands or artists, somebody that just creates bracelets for people.
It's universal.
Anything, people that sell weed. What? Wait. No, that's for something else. Never mind.
Different brand.
What I mean? Creative art, mentalists, magicians, comedians. Let's do it. And we have a crap ton of them in West Virginia. You know that. You're from here,
Oh yeah.
To play us out of the show, and I wanted to leave a little bit of time so we could talk about what we talked about before we went live. Playing us out of the show, I wanted to play a band that's from Morgantown, just because that's your hometown. So I chose Law Abiding Citizens. I've had them on the show recently. I covered their reunion show with 304 Recons opened up. Remember the hip hop group 304 Recons?
Yeah.
66240. Yeah, they're great guys. So I wanted to play some Law Abiding Citizens for you. At the end of the show. So you were saying that back to the acting stuff. You and Jeremiah had worked together before. Jeremiah being the lead singer of LBC.
Yeah, Jeremiah, and I don't know if Jordan, his brother, is still doing the drumming, but
he is. Yes.
Jeremiah. So yeah, Jeremiah, Jordan, and myself, we all did theater. Oh boy, I was like 14, and Jeremiah and I have actually now been in 2 movies together. We were in one years and years and years and years and years ago called Remembering Bob, and it somehow got played on Animal Planet. And then most recently we were in a movie called The Mile Ground Movie, and I played a couple of different supporting roles and a couple different characters, and he was one of the main leads. So it's funny how that circle hole continues to ebb and flow.
Yeah, and it's awesome that you know them so well, and I just kind of started to know them. I mean, I've known of them for a long time, since LBC played. But
they're all amazing people. I like years and years ago. I don't know if Aaron, everybody, Jeffy, all of them. They're all class actors.
Jeffy's still bartending down at Pleasant.
Oh, that's his home, man. He'll be there forever. I love it.
He is the man. Yes, we talk quite a bit actually, just about different things. Oh, I did kind of glance at the 50th episode. I think it was at the hotel when I was up in Pittsburgh. And one thing. So we had somebody actively watching and chatting, and it was the bass player from Tell No Tales. I don't know if you remember this.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. That's Zach Neese, and he's the one that directed the Dream video for Natural Cause. He came to here, and so we're buddies. We're pretty good buddies. He's just getting going with film, and under Danny's wing, pretty much. That's how I asked Danny if he would do it. Danny Strakel, if he would do it, and he said I'm going to be busy. He does weddings and all that stuff, so. He said, but I do have a friend that's just getting going that would definitely do it. And Zach actually came down, and I IMC'd Flaw came to Clarksburg and played a show. They did a fundraising show, and I actually emceed that, and Zach came down and did the photography for that.
Nice.
So I was like, you ever done a music video? He's done like the Tell No Tales videos, but not like anyone else's. And it's. Well, you I don't know if did you catch it? I know you listened to.
I watched. I don't think I watched the whole thing, but I watched like at least 50%. And
you need to watch 100% of it. All of our songs are like 7, 8 minutes long, but hey, it's good music. I can't tell you when the EP is going to be out because I don't know either. So, don't even ask me. But you did get to hear a little bit of the new one. That single will be out. That single will be out soon, and I'm not going to say anything about it on the show because I don't know when.
It's the same thing we were talking about earlier with soundscapes. It really, like, you can hear the layers, you can hear the emotional journey from where it starts and where you're kind of trying to end up, and everything in between. That's the meaning.
When we get done here and before we sign off from each other, after I kill the live stream, I'll let you hear the part with vocals if you want to, just a little bit of it. It's long, but I won't force you to. I'm force you. Shenandoah, thank you so much for being on the show again. It's been a pleasure talking to you and what finding out what you're doing now, and what you've been up to since and yeah, I mean everybody gets busy. I got busy, you got busy, and that's good. That's what we do. We're all creative, and even if you're not creative, you still get busy with family and all that crap. So so it was awesome catching up. If you have time on Sunday, you're more than welcome to pop in and stay as long as you want and just reminisce a little bit. You're part of that. You're part of the success. Everybody that's been a guest is a part of the success of the show. I mean, because if I wasn't for a guest, I wouldn't have you wouldn't have to watch me at all. Anyway, like I said, we're gonna end the show with some law-abiding citizens because that's appropriate, I think. And it's their song. That's one of my favorite ones. It's What's the Point?
I'll even let my hair down.
Yes. Are you gonna headbang?
I can headbang.
I don't think I've seen a Shenandoah headbang at all.
You've never seen a Shenendoah headbang?
No, because the times you were on before, you were always like playing and stuff, and very, very. We'll do the headbang. I'll talk to you a little bit after the live stream. After I kill the live stream here in a little bit, but everyone else, I will see you tomorrow with Paper Champs. Stefan will be back, which everybody knows is Milking First, but it's gonna be Stefan. And I'm not even gonna. I'm gonna have to bring it up. I'm sure. I have to ask him about that. What happened to Milk? Because I used to just call him Milk, But it's Stefan and the band he's involved with now called Paper Champs. We will talk to them tomorrow at. I don't know what time. Hang on a minute. I got the email pulled up right here. At I think it's early. I think it's 6 o'clock. 8 p.m. I was way off. I was 2 hours off.
Same time
same time tomorrow. Right at the same. If you're watching, just come back at the same time tomorrow, and it'll just Shenandoah won't be here unless you want to be. I mean, you're more than welcome to. I don't think. No, there's no co-host tomorrow either. So, but everybody will be. Bo will be here on Sunday. Shenandoah might be here. There'll be some previous guests from way a long time ago. That may join. Hopefully they do. So it'll be it'll be a lot of fun. We'll do some things. Maybe a hot dog eating contest. Maybe, probably not, but not that kind of show. Oh, and then just watch the Acute Media Lab socials, and I'll let you know when if and when we can get the audio up from Seth's the mentalist thing. So we will let you know. Shenandoah, thank you again. This is Law-Abiding Citizens with What's the Point? What's the point of this crap? That's not what he says, but that's my best impression. And Shenandoah's going to let his hair go down. Here we go.
I feel happy.